Hey everyone, in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you how to make a product listing on Amazon that actually sells. Contrary to what a lot of people think, selling on Amazon isn't just about having a high quality product. When you're selling products online, always remember that your customer doesn't have the same ability to touch, interact with, and ask questions about the product as they would at a brick and mortar store. So when running a business on Amazon, it's important that you give your customer enough information and visual aid to make them feel like they're making an educated purchasing decision before they hit that add to cart button. Aside from price and reviews, product photos and listing are two of the main ways to separate yourself from the competition. So in this video, we'll mainly be focusing on how to level up your product photos and product descriptions. If you're new to this channel, my name's Michael and I make videos about the most up-to-date tactics for starting your very first Amazon business. And if you find any of this information helpful, please hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. So let's jump right into the first tip. Tip number one is telling a story in your lifestyle photos. Did you know that 63% of customers say that product photos are more important than the listing text? And did you know that the average customer reads only 20% of the listing text on the page, but will view every single product image? If you know people are gonna be looking at your photos, you may as well make each of them count. Lifestyle images complete with tasteful props and thoughtful staging is a really effective way to stand out as a more premium option relative to your competition. Having photos that capture creative ways to use your product is also a great way to give helpful suggestions to your customers and even provide some inspiration along the way. You really want to focus on how the customer will use that product in their day-to-day life. So before you go shopping for props or hiring photographers, I'd recommend doing some planning up front. And my favorite way to do this is to create a Pinterest board for your product. Once I've narrowed down some of my favorite Pinterest images, I'll batch them together into different themes. For example, I'll have picnic in the park photos, I'll have holiday party photos, and I'll have breakfast in bed photos. And each of those batches of photos will serve as the inspiration for my product's lifestyle images. Within each theme, do your best to try to think of what props would best fit into this scenario. For example, for a picnic in the park, maybe having a picnic blanket and having a picnic basket would make sense as relevant props. And don't forget that each prop should have a purpose and meaning. Don't use props for the sake of using more props. Each prop you buy should be conveying a message. So ask yourself these questions when choosing props. What does adding the prop communicate to the customer? By removing the prop, how does that story change? And what customer are we targeting by choosing this prop in the first place? Taking the time to think critically about what props you're choosing and how that communicates your brand will help separate yourself from the thousands of sellers who choose props out of convenience. Tip number two is using you over our language in your product listing. A common mistake that new sellers on Amazon make is using the word our in their listing bullets way too often. You may have seen some listings out there that say things like, our product will be perfect for family gatherings. And on the surface, that seems right. But as a consumer, we're primed to be thinking about what's best for us personally. And this is where shifting our language to be more directly pointed at the consumer will help lead to a more powerful listing. By changing your tone to actively engage the reader and get them to think about their personal experience, your listing will come across as more compelling and your sales should increase as a result. As an example, as opposed to saying our coasters will protect any surface, try using language like keep your countertops clean and protected. Using you language will help your customer directly visualize using your product in their day-to-day life. And it'll come across as a way more compelling argument than some of these lists of features that some of these Amazon sellers use. As a caveat, don't go too overboard with this colorful language, as you'll still need to make sure that you're including your most relevant keywords in your product description for ranking purposes. Tip number three is using a 3D rendered image as your primary product photo. 3D renders are computer-generated images that could be adjusted and edited to fit your specific needs. While you lose out on some of the artistic touch and composition of a product photographer, using 3D rendered images is a great way to make your product look clean and flawless. With 3D rendered images, anything is customizable from angle to color to shape, so you really have the most flexibility here. And with prices that start even lower than some traditional photographers, 3D renders are a really good option for people that don't want to deal with the headache of coordination and proximity and things like that. As a bonus tip, always make sure that your 3D rendered images look realistic. You don't want someone to purchase your product thinking that they're going to get something else to receive something that looks way different. Now, before we get into the next tip, if you're finding value in this video, smash that subscribe button down below for more videos with actionable tips just like this one. Tip number 4 is highlighting features that your competitors are lacking. So once you have a product that you want to sell, do some research within the competitors in that niche. One of the best ways to find opportunities to improve existing products is to look at their most negative reviews. To do this, find some of your closest competitors and filter down their customer reviews for 3 stars or lower. And try to look out for some trends that keep popping up, whether that's durability, size, color, etc. Once you find a feature that you want to change or tweak, go back to your supplier and see if they can accommodate those changes. What ends up happening a lot of times is that they can actually do more than you think. Once you have a differentiating feature on your product, my favorite way to draw attention to that feature is to dedicate a product listing bullet for that specific feature. To go the extra mile, you can even have a product photo that shows how your feature will outperform the competition. So there you go, those are my top 4 tips on creating an Amazon listing that'll actually sell. With these tactics in mind, you'll be in a great position to stand out and sell more with your Amazon product. And leave a comment below, what are your favorite product listing tips? If you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. I'll see you later.